The police has to do an effort if they want to stop illegal use of weapons. They have to make some strategies. The police presented some of them. Strategies to reduce gun violence include a wide range of efforts to interrupt the illegal supply of guns, deter gun possession, reduce gun carrying in public places, toughen responses to illegal gun use, reduce demand for firearms, promote responsible ownership of guns, and address community conditions that foster gun crime. Over the few years, the police has put an effort in the high-risk areas, and it has turned out to be successful. One successful approach to reducing gun violence is to suppress illegal gun carrying in hotspots where gun crime is concentrated. In its most basic form, this strategy involves putting additional patrol resources in hotspots and having officers focus on gun detection through traffic stops.
White compared to the amounts of killings on black people. But then while the white people are the majority of the US, the black people are a minority. Let's take a look at what that means. The population in the US consists of 63% white people and only 13% black people, while the rest distributes on other racial group minorities. So despite the fact that 50% of all who gets involved in a fatal shooting episode are being white and only 24% are being black, it means that black people are 2.5 times more likely to get involved in these shooting episodes. It's obvious that black people does not commit more crime than white caused by the fact that they are being black. But why then? People who are most likely to commit crimes are often the ones who are living their lives in the bottom of the society. The ones who are living their lives in poverty. And it's important to understand that black and white people in the same economical position will act the same way, but unfortunately it is a fact that there are more black than white people who are living their lives in poverty in the US of today. Some people argue that black people in the US historically have suffered from some sort of economical disadvantage in the US, which has caused some social heritage, keeping some African Americans in an inconvenient economical situation.
When talking about the impact of the police's right to the use of guns, an important point to contemplate is the fact that many situations prove that because of the police's presence and their use of equipment, the situation escalates. This affects the relationship between the police and the people they have to protect. Local law enforcement agencies participated in a program that has transferred $5.1 billion in military hardware from the Department of Defense to local American law enforcement agencies since 1979. According to the DLA, material worth $449 million was transferred in 2013 alone. An NPR report found that by 2012, the Pentagon had given local law enforcement 80,000 assault rifles, 200 grenade launchers, and 12,000 BNS. But after what happened at Ferguson, President Obama issued an executive order that limited the amount of equipment. In my opinion, it is worth contemplating if the presence of the police is worth it, if their use of equipment affects innocent people. In the end, police is there to protect and help keep the society safe and secure.
Economical problems. Study shows that a black unarmed person is twice as likely to be shot by the police compared to a white person in the US. While the same studies came to the result that these unarmed black people actually are less likely to be posing any threat to the police during their interaction. Forces and any type are being used 3 times more often on black people compared to white ones. But what about the interactions between the police and the black people that is not caused by any economical problems? Study shows that a black unarmed person is twice as likely to be shot by the police compared to a white person in the US. While the same studies came to the result that these unarmed black people actually are less likely to be posing any threat to the police during their interaction. Forces, any type, are being used 3 times more often on black people than on white people. A local study on a police station showed that police are searching and targeting black people at a rate disproportionate to how often black people actually are being contraband. And yet, they are still being searched and targeted 4 times more often than white people. It's hard to say what the truth about the amount of killings of black people in the US is, but according to these statistics, it might seem like the black population are being far more exposed to racial harassment than the white one in the US.